Hello and welcome to PlayStation Access. My name is Connor and I was lucky enough to have a chat with the production director of Helldivers 2, Alex Bolle. We spoke about all the new warbonds, how to drive a tank, and the march towards Cyberstand. So, pour yourself a cup of liberty, sit back and relax. Would you be able to quickly summarize what the content that you're putting out there, if you could sum that up in a few words, what would that be?
Absolutely. So this is what we call the Battle for Cyberstand. So it's a whole new campaign around the how to frame it in a sentence. It's a whole intergalactic conflict. So it's I'm gonna say a lot of phrases very rapidly, but it's taking the Helldivers to Cyberstand. It's a massive conflict that will bring the players to push them to their limits. It arrives on the 10th. It's a very unpredictable campaign. Our game master is ready for anything can happen. Basically, nothing has been predetermined, so that's going to be very fun to see for me, less for you, our game master. And we're talking a sub-faction, the cyborgs, long awaited from Helldivers 1. Like faces to punch, so that's them. They're here to undermine democracy. New places to visit, so we're gonna visit a big fan favorite going to Cyberstand. More problems to solve, so that's the whole galactic war that will bring all the Helldivers to fight the cyborgs. And toys to use, which is the Siegebreaker warbond that we just released. So that's gonna be really fun. We also have the tank that has been enabled, and I can already see a few people having quite some fun with it. So a lot of action packed in a very unpredictable campaign. That's that. It's gonna decide the fate of the galaxy. I could say.
Yeah, no, and as you've mentioned, it's a big conflict, and it is kind of up to the Helldivers. So hopefully they get out there and do their jobs. As you mentioned as well, Alex, the cyborgs are back. They're originally an enemy from the first game. So my first proper question is how did this come about? What was the suggestion process like for saying, hey, maybe we should bring these guys back? I think this could be really fun. Like, how did that work internally?
It's interesting with features that are coming from Helldivers 1. So much content has been done by the team back then. So there's a lot of things we can pick up. The main challenge is, how do you make it work for Helldivers 2? It's two very different games. Obviously you go from a top-down shooter to a third-person shooter. It's a bit like the Eliminates. We had it in mind for so long. It was just about when, how do we create a cohesive universe around it? And I was talking about toys to use. It's what are the right toys to use at that moment. It's very fun because sometimes we're super eager to make it as soon as possible. But for the cyborgs, we're pretty committed on. We're gonna have to take our time to make it work. We learned our lessons in terms of giving it time to cook. So I would say, in concrete terms, imagine a bunch of directors sitting in a room and thinking very hard about, okay, this is the new campaign, this is the new arc coming up. What is the experience? What is the fantasy around cyborgs, around the invasion of Cyberstand? So it comes from there, and then all the teams we have a lot of amazing teams. It's around 20 at this point, and we present that to the teams, and we're like, okay, what can you do? What can you do? How can you fulfill the fantasy? Is it feasible? Do we need to do more? Do we need to do less? And we had a pretty good plan, so that was fun. That was fun to produce from my standpoint. I worked a lot with the roadmaps and staffing and budget, and I was like, okay, that's good. We're looking great.
Yeah, I think it does look great. The content speaks for itself. One of the big things that I think is quite exciting and will be exciting for a lot of people that played the first game is seeing the siege mech that's back. So just wondering, are there any other things about the original game that in the frame of the Illumina and the cyborgs, and obviously the siege mech, this big kind of ultimate baddie for the ultimate unit for this faction, is there anything else that you would like to bring back, or something that you were particularly excited yourself about bringing back?
Oh, so many things. It's hard to choose. I remember I forgot the name, but the motorcycle was such a fun vehicle to drive. It's I think the important thing here is that I'm talking about vehicles. The team that's done the tank for this update is the same team that has created the FRV back in December 2024 when the Illuminates invaded our Super Earth colonies. And I'm thinking about the motorcycle, and I'm thinking about the cooperation, the co-op aspect of the designing those vehicles, and they've done a pretty good job with the tank, so it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, the tank does look like a lot of fun. We've had quite a few streams with the FOV that we've done over the years with easy collateral damage with people kind of hanging out of a window, so I can see a lot of difficulty with those passengers. Let's get off that stratagem and save ourselves, and then they're gonna have they might get clipped by something quite easily, I can imagine. So there's going to be a lot of co-op fun happening, I'm sure. I guess some more general questions, some of which does relate to the most recent updates. The breaching hammer has recently come into the game.
Yes.
So other than pulling from Helldivers lore, as it were, from the first game, is there anything that you guys look to for inspiration to add new toys, essentially, for the players to use? Or is it literally just, oh, this could be cool, let's just try this and see if it works?
It's funny you're asking, because I was just talking to the team lead in charge of the warbonds about one of the next updates and what we're gonna do, and them pitching ideas to Niklas, the design director, and it's you can tell. I think one of the key elements is that we're passionate and very nostalgic about the 80s, the 90s, whether it's movies, films, TV shows, games, and we take a lot of inspiration from there. It's such a wide pool of ideas that we can take from there. So it's been key. It's super fun to do it in that way. And there's so much more to take inspiration from those two decades. So yeah.
No, absolutely. And is there anything that you can think of, again, this kind of personal angle that you would be like, you've mentioned the motorcycle already, not necessarily again from the first game or any direct piece of equipment, but something that you're like, oh, it would be really cool if we had something like this. Is there anything that comes to mind for you personally?
That's a great question. I was born in the 90s, but I was surrounded by siblings and cousins that were quite older, so we're born in the 70s and the 80s. So I got a lot of. I was raised in the 80s movies elements. I can't come up with any specific, but one of the things I would like to, I'm sure we'll do is more of that cooperation with the toys we have. It's a key element. I think with the tank, that has been the fun part. Um, I think I'm more curious right now about what the community wants. They've been they've been super eager to give us ideas, give us warbond inspirations, and I think we'll start from there. It's so good to um, go on Reddit, go on Discord, go on any social media and see how much they're passionate, and we're building the game with them. So uh, I think it starts there. It starts there. I, I wouldn't want to push my own interests. It's their game as much as it's ours.
Yeah, that's fair. I get that. And you know, as part of preparing for this today, we did talk about you know, what does the community think of the things that you've announced so far? And it was, I think, 2 hours or so after the kind of patch notes video and the update
Yeah.
had gone out, and people were finally starting to, you know, this information is starting to trickle out into the community. And there are a lot of memes that have come out there already that they're, you know, the community is very excited to see a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
And talking about the community and about their excitement and the things that they would like to see in the game, I have a question that relates to, I guess, how they're playing the game from and how you guys see it from your perspective. Because obviously you, like any game developer, I imagine, you build things in a certain way and expect things to be used in a certain way, and then you will be surprised by how things actually get used in the game. So one of the things that we've been kind of sending clips to each other recently is people using the jump pack and the breaching hammer as in tandem. I was just wondering, is there anything that stands out to you guys? It could be in earlier updates, obviously, that stood out as like, wow, we really did not expect, you know, this combination or this strategy even. Or this communication between teams between a team to work in this way. Is there anything that stands out to you?
Yeah, definitely. I think more than the actual features themselves, like the content and the toys and the enemies, it's the unpredictable aspect of the galactic war. It's the Helldivers have done things that I don't think any of us internally could have predicted. That's given a few gray hair to Yoel or Game Master, and that's where it's fun. It's we gave Joel a lot of tools to pivot fast. But sometimes it's still not enough, and that's the one of the thing that with Battle for Cyberstand, with that full scale conflict, he's been saying like it's one of the most ambitious campaign that we had for since the release, and we're quite excited because he has a few scenarios, but we know that things are going to happen, things that we cannot expect, things that the players will decide to do completely opposite things that what we wanted them to do on the galactic level, and that's going to be great.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as you have done, you've mentioned, you know, with previous campaigns, there is an expectation to do things in a certain way, and you might get this core group of players that are like, I love what the game is trying to get us to do and what the community pushing for, and we have these goals, but I'm still gonna kind of go and do this thing over here.
Yeah.
And I think it's nice that you know you've got some independent spirit in there from the community. Maybe something to be said about managed democracy not encouraging independent thought, but that's a different conversation, I think, entirely. Just more, I guess, more general things, given that we're talking about the community, is there anything that the community has made or memed or joked about that you guys are always like, this is some good stuff, you know, something that always that never fails to get a chuckle out of you guys every time you see a reference to it?
Oh, there's so many. I'm gonna talk more personally because as a production director, I'm looking at roadmaps, at when are we ready to release, about the staffing, about the budget, about QA, and the memes that came out of Into the Unjust, into there's a lot of things around QA that they hurt, but when I look at them, it kind of it keeps us in check. You know, it's okay. We can do better. We can do better in terms of quality. We can do better in terms of testing, and Full has been with To the Unjust, and so on has been a bit of a low point. And our tech director was saying we're committing. It's going to be the worst it will ever be. It's our low point. Never again. And I printed the memes around QA so that every morning I would see it and I'm like, we'll do better. And you know, it works. It's like, yeah, we take it at heart. We want it to be better. We've reduced the install size. We are happy with the metrics for Battle for Cyberstand. And when I talked to the tech director with what the teams on the tech side have in store, I think it's going to be a great year in terms of performance, all of that. We're really rebuilding the foundation of what Helldivers is in terms of tech. So yeah, it's that is the meme that is the bunch of memes around QA that really started it all. Like, okay, we're out to be better. I don't want to see those memes again.
Yeah, I think that's, in a way, it's quite nice that you've been able to embrace that, though, because you know you have the memes and they are poking fun, but rather than kind of fighting against it, you're saying, look, at least they're still in support of the game. It's not turning them away, and we can still, you're using it as fuel to do better. I think that's really encouraging, from my point of view as part of the community to hear. So I think hopefully other people will feel the same way. Hopefully nothing was so bad that it actually got you upset, though. I can't speak for for other guys on that one. I've got some kind of silly random questions, if that's okay. So it might seem a little off topic to the sort of bigger things that we've spoken about already. Do you have a favorite victory pose that you like to use when you're playing the game?
The push-ups. I think that has been a big funny emote, especially as I forgot which armor that if you wear it and you do the emote, the character just do one hand push up and like it's steely things, but it's really cool. So definitely that one.
That does make the next part a little awkward because I was going to ask if you can recreate it, but maybe that's not the most convenient, especially given you have a bookcase and everything around you. Maybe that's not. You're gonna have some kind of accident. We don't want that.
I need to find a new emote now.
In terms of like when you're playing the game and not thinking, in terms of new builds and whatnot, and you're just playing to unwind, I guess, and be proud of the thing that you've helped make. What do you like to use? What's the loadout that you take in to battle and say, this is what I feel comfortable using? What is that for you?
Yeah, that's a great question. I try to play every Sunday with friends that are a bit spread around the world. So I'm such a noob, but let's see. I believe it or not, I love to play the Coyote, and then I go with the trends. I really like the latest warbond redacted regiment. It's very. I'm looking for style more than effects.
I mean, they are cool. It's a cool set of sets of armor, and it's a cool look. You can't complain.
Cool. I cannot get away from the wasp from our Hellgast warbond. That stratagem is so good. So that's that. I try to play a bit of everything, and I think my friends are really they want some support. They're more hardcore players, and I'm like, I'll come with you and look at things and just be happy to be there. And it's really, I feel bad for them because they expect me to arrive and be like, I know every single. I mean, I know pretty much every single weapons, but Like, no, I'll just play whatever I want. It's really the unwinding part, you know. I'm gonna try whatever loadout. Um,
That's
just
fair.
to
I mean,
spice
it's
it up.
your right, you know. Everybody gets to play how they like, and if you know, no one can be mad at you for choosing how to play a certain way when this is also what you do Monday to Friday. Like, if you wanna chill out and use a pay and spray or something on a Sunday and not really care that much and just have some fun with your friends, then why not? Is there anything that you are particularly excited for in the most recent update to get in hands on with yourself from maybe on those Sunday sessions with your friends?
Yeah, I haven't played with them in a few weeks now. And I know they haven't looked at it yet. I am excited to see their reaction to the uh, the siege engine, the tank from the cyborgs, because it's pretty massive. It's pretty damn daunting. I remember playing the first time, and sound wise, it's I I don't know. I was scared to death, and so they really nailed it in terms of feeling and experience the first time you encounter one. So I'm excited for that. Definitely. I will try to have them really partaking the fight because it's probably gonna be a key battle, a key war for the entire Helldivers history. So I want my friends to be there and see what it's like.
No, that's a nice thing. And then I guess in that vein, maybe for your friends specifically, but also more generally for all of the brave Helldivers, do you have any words of wisdom, any words of encouragement from your side of the division that you would like to share?
Yeah. As I said, it's gonna be it's gonna be one hell of a battle. It's gonna be the most unpredictable war we'll ever have. We've ever had so far. I can't speak for the future. Uh, it's not gonna be easy. There's gonna be a lot of death, but it's worth the fight. So uh, I really hope they all gather, they fight for democracy. Uh, one death is nothing. We'll have many more Helldivers coming, so they have to keep the fight. It's not gonna be easy, but we'll we'll conquer. That's my words of wisdom.
Well, I mean, the I don't think anybody could have put it better. That is, what a rousing speech for democracy. We will get it done. Oh, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me, Alex. I really appreciate
Thank you.
that. And that was our Helldivers 2 catch-up. A huge thank you to Alex Bolle for all his time, and to the teams at Arrowhead and PlayStation for making this happen. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and let us know your favourite thing about all the new updates down in the comments. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to PlayStation Access and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. For Super Earth!
PlayStation